This is America. Everybody pulls their own weight. Do you hear me? Okay, you've got to learn to work these sound effects because I can't keep trying to deal with this stuff right in the middle of the show. We're running a show. Oh, I think we're live, but we're running a show here. You have to learn how to use this computer. And I don't want to hear, oh, my paws are tiny, I can't reach the keys. I love you, but we all got to pull our own weight, okay? I want you to pull yourself up by your tiny little whiskers. You understand me? Do you even speak English? I hope ICE doesn't come to get you. You're adorable, but I need you to, as much as they say, you know, cats love a mouse, this one won't use the mouse. It's not playing any sound effects for me whatsoever. Come on, little buddy. Come on, you can do this. I need you to, you're gonna run these sound effects for me, okay? What you saying it's the, you're saying,
everything's computer.
You're saying everything's computer? What did you say?
Everything's computer.
Really? Okay. Well, here, go down there and I'm gonna have you try to run one of these for me.
What is the charge? Eating a meal? A succulent Chinese meal?
Good job, you got one. But now you gotta do like the timing, you know? That's the other part of this. You gotta, what, you're saying it's the app? You're saying it's the sound effects app? You're saying I'm cheap? What? That I just got a free version of one? Oh my God. What the? All right, let's see. You've really got to learn to work this.
It's a trap!
I don't want to hear that from you. All right. We got a show to run, okay? You can have the night off tonight, but tomorrow, back on the computer, okay? Why don't you go play with your family? Okay? You got to get this under control. We've got to make this a beautiful story so Disney can make a movie about us like Ratatouille, but they'll call it Catatouille, okay? And they'll be like, oh, this is a magical story about a podcaster who had a little kitten who would run the show for him, right? That's what Disney magic is made out of, and you're really letting me down on this one. Do you want your legacy enshrined by Walt Disney? Do you? No response. We watched the Aristocrats together. We watched the Aristocats. You loved it. You said, I want to be that. I said, well, there's only one way. You got to learn how to produce the podcast, man. I feel like this is falling on deaf ears. If you want a movie like Ratatouille, but we call it Catatouille, about a guy who, you know, it was a long shot for him. He was doing live streams every day. And, you know, the channel was growing, but it was growing slow. Did you just sigh? Did you just sigh at me? Oh my God. I was giving you the movie pitch. Movie pitch. Guy, down on his luck, no family. Is trying to get his YouTube live stream up and running. And he starts growing and the community's building, right? And then a little kitten stumbles into his life and is an amazing sound effects kitten. But nobody knows it's a kitten running the sound effects.
You will respect my authority.
And the enemy is the oligarchy.
Right? And nobody knew that it was a little kitty running all the sound effects. Nobody knew. And that was what made it magical. The kitty had impeccable comedy timing, better timing than Brendan Schwab or Andrew Schultz. And the kitty made the podcast #1. He started competing with Mr. Beast. They were making millions. The kitty was living in the lap of luxury, eating fresh salmon from a mini pond they had built out back so the cat could catch it out of the pond. Do you want Disney to make that movie, Catatouille? Yeah. This cat sighed at me. You don't get to sigh at me. I'm going to name you Sigh if you keep sighing at me. Listen, we really got to work on this. I need you to go run the computer, okay? We got a show to do. We got a show to do. Gosh, I love you. But, you know, you got to start pulling your weight. Oh, sorry about that. I didn't want you to have to see that. You know, that was a behind the scenes thing. I was just talking to my employees. You got to sometimes give them a little rah-rah shish boom bah, you know? And unfortunately, you had to witness that. I'm so sorry. So sorry. But, you know, she said, she was the one that was like, I love that movie Ratatouille. Have they ever thought of doing it with a cat? I said, well, you keep producing this live cast at the rate you're producing and the rate we're growing. Hit subscribe and the notification bell. I said, if you can produce this podcast as well as you have been, and we keep growing, you know, I'll pitch it to Disney. I don't think she understood what I was saying, but then she sighed. I don't know if you could see that, if she was in the camera. She went like this in guy. And I thought, oh, they can understand me. I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. Hold on. I gotta, John Applegate, good to see you. Hit subscribe, hit the like button. I think subscribe is over here. I think the like buttons might be different for you, you know. Maybe it's different for everybody. Give me one moment. Let me go. I gotta go get one of my employees. Okay, listen. I just had a talk with your sister. She's not producing the show as well as I'd like. Okay? And listen, I love you. I know you're the runt. But if your sister, if your sister's not going to do this, can you run the, there you go. Don't press all the keys. Oh, Jesus. Not all of, yeah, see, he's no good. This is why I didn't hire him. Where's your sister? Oh, God. And when they, you know, there is truth to say nobody wants to work anymore. You just saw it. That little runt, you know, I gave him this was his opportunity. Like Eminem says, you know, mom's spaghetti, you're gonna lose yourself or something. I don't remember, it was a long time ago, but Eminem was talking about, you know, like when the time comes, you got to take it. And I just gave him his opportunity, and he jumped all over the keyboard. This is why, you know, the job field shrinks every day. Americans are less educated, less technically involved, you know, and they're talking about bringing factories back here. And I'm like, really? I'm trying to hire these cats. And, you know, you just saw it. One just jumped on, and he didn't even jump on the right keys, let's be honest. I mean, he's right there. I don't want to talk bad about him, but right in front of him, but he jumped on the number buttons. Fucking moron. Where did she go? I really wanted to talk to her. I gave him a shot. Oh my God. She went to sleep. You gotta be joking me. Sleeping on the job. People are so ungrateful. Thank you, Rabbi Jonesy. Really. What's up, my fellow Americans? Hey, KRAR, J666. I'll trade Trump's no breathing for his face on money. Yeah, I'll cut that deal. I'll cut that deal. Put his face on the money, someone says. That's hilarious. You know, we don't put living people's face on money. But, you know, if you want to put that face on the money, I say do it. We're going to put it on a $3 bill. And, you know, in a time, either that or we could do this picture. I think that picture would be good on the back of a $3 bill, you know. And it can say, love thy family. Just try not to keep committing adultery like you did with 3 wives. You know, we're going to just break all the rules here, folks. Or we could do this one. I think that would be a good photo for the back of a $3 bill. Oh, God, did you hear that? Who did that? I think that was you. I think that's I think Ribeye loves that photo. I think that's the photo he wants on the back of the $3 bill. It really just, My Christ. If this kid keeps doing stuff on my... I'm going to... I think I have the audio that goes with that photo.
Now the poor guy, you got to see this guy. Oh, I don't know what I said. I don't remember.
So this is my vote. I think it's going to be left to a YouTube vote. I'm not sure. Or maybe a Twitter poll, but there's too many bots on Twitter. I'm putting Don, the orange bonbon, putting him on the money. I think this is a good contender. I think it's going to be left to a Twitter poll, but you know, the bots are going to decide. The Russian Albanian. Wait, where are the bots from again? Where are the bots from again? Hold on.
Azerbaijan and Albania.
Azerbaijan and Albania. That's where they are. And you know, it's sad because this fucking thing.
Everything's computer.
Everything's computer. So you don't know if it's human or if...
Everything's computer.
Everything could be a computer. But I think...
Now the poor guy, you got to see this guy. Oh, I don't know what I said. I don't remember.
This is a good photo. Maybe this will be on the front. You know, this one could be on the front. And then we'll put little, like, memojis around each corner of the $3 bill. Let's see. But yeah, if you didn't see, oh, wait. Trump bragging again about his 24-karat gold Oval Office decor. He just needs to start selling merch that says, let them eat cake, you know, at this point. Here it is. Treasury Department considers minting a $1 Trump coin. If you want to read this article, I put it down in the description. Or, you know, this is always a favorite. Everybody loves this photo. We could put this on the $3 bill. Again, normally the law and the rule is, you've heard the saying, dead presidents, because those are the only ones that go on the money. So it's very, very odd that they're considering, well, it's not, let's face it, you know, he is such a Titan baby. Like if he was a kaiju, he'd be Babyzilla, Baby Tantrumzilla. You know, that's always a good one. You see the silhouette. We could put this photo with his best friend Ghislaine. Sorry, his best friend is Jeffrey, and his second best friend was Ghislaine. Stefan, we all wish for that final Big Mac. Stefan, I actually have a sound clip with your name. How funny that you joined us. Thank you. Hit subscribe. I pulled this off of the German show. Was it the German show? Or the Dutch show? Some European show.
I'm Stefan.
I'm Stefan. I love that clip.
I'm Stefan.
I'm Stefan. So good to see you.
I'm Stefan.
Stefan. This is a room full of... What is going on in the comments? Oh, Stefan, that's what I was talking about. John letting us know how insecure he is with going to the bathroom. It's so weird, some of these people obsessed, you know, in a day and age where groceries have shot up in price since last year. And people are like, you better watch who I'm pooping next to. I'm very insecure. You don't want to hear that plop plop.
So let me explain what that plop plop's all about.
Yeah, somebody's got to explain it to John. But Stefan, I've been calling it the long watch. You know how Jon Snow had to go up to the winter wall for the ice capades or whatever he was doing up there? He had to go on that watch for the White Walkers. I keep saying we're on that long watch. We're on the long watch right now. Jim. I appreciate your name with that many M's. Not enough Jims have that many M's in their name. So respect, you know. In a time of austerity, Jim is not cutting back on the M's. And you got to take the little wins when you can. Jim spells his name with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 M's. And I can only respect a man who you know, who keeps it abundant with the letters. I'm one myself. I spell my name with 2 B's, Robb. And Jim, you've inspired me. I might do a third B, you know. In times where we tighten our belt, we lengthen our name. You know, when weak men are creating hard times, and there's only weak men in charge right now. Slow polio Rogan, Epstein's best friend, and when these weak men create hard times and we have to tighten our belts, Jim will add M's to his name. I will add B's, and I encourage you at home to do the same. Glub glub. Trump is not long for this world. He will shuffle loose this mortal coil soon. Las Vicus. Thank you for the 199 super chat. GOP, the guardian of PDF files, 100%. That's what GOP stands for. I don't know if you've seen, not this news. We all know about that. Release the files. And we're going to talk about, we're going to get, you know, I think we need to decide here on social media what photo goes on Trump's $3 bill, because he wants to put his face on money, of course, because, you know, he's as greedy as they come. He's the most self-righteous, egotistical person there is. Nothing godly about him. But where, oh, did you see this? This dude, Robert Morris, was Trump's, like, what were they calling him? Like his pastor, his, like, spiritual guider. And this dude just got locked up. So GOP is 100% correct. And also because we mentioned Polio Rogan, little news alert. I've seen this come across the news wire. Safety alert. South Carolina confirms a full-blown outbreak of measles. This is very sad. Very sad. So sad, man. So sad that we have these wealthy, stupid people in charge. And other people are like, hey, that guy's really rich. He couldn't be dumb, could he? No rich person could be stupid, right? And here we are. And here we are. Oh, Wikipedia. We might talk about that at a different time. Because we're going to talk about the Trump money. I'm still like, when are we putting Harriet Tubman on the 20? Take that Jackson fool off and I want some Tubmans. If you don't know about Harriet Tubman's life story, she was braver than this orange turd right here. She freed herself from being enslaved and went back, I believe it was over 100 times, to rescue others. She was wanted as a fugitive and then served in the, what is it? Not the Red Cross. What is that? What was that, like, was it the Red Cross? I don't think it was the Red Cross. My mind's farting on me. But, you know what I mean? Like, she served in the Civil War. She was an absolute hero. And she should be on the money before anybody. Rob Densmore says, would ICE arrest Jesus? Well, if they're arresting little kids and Americans, yeah, they would. James said he will R. Kelly on the $1 coin if they release it. This is just absolutely hilarious. And this article goes into how, like, you know, they don't put living presidents on money. They don't. But again, this dude doesn't care about the Constitution, the amendments, the Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments. American rule of law, what judges say, marriage vows, age restrictions. You know, this dude don't care about family values, the Bible. I mean, you could list the whole, basically everything besides himself. So when he sees, ooh, look at me on money, I say just do him justice, you know? I say put a photo like that. All right, let's see. Michael, she was an American hero. Wake me up totally. The very opposite of anybody that's ever put on a red dunce cap. Why? What's going on in the chat? Oh, I gotta catch up with the chat. I don't know what's going on in the chat. Post a picture of what you look like. No, I'm not gonna say. A lot of people are saying Jay might be a dum-dum if he's talking to me. But when he says post a picture of what you look like, Jay might not. You know, and listen, I blame the politicians for defunding our education system. We should be investing in education because then you have kids that don't learn things and they grow up to be dumb adults. A lot of people are saying. And Jay, if you're speaking to me, just so you know, you're looking at me. Oh my God. We drink fascist tears here, by the way. And once Donald proclaimed himself a fascist by making anti-fascists his enemies, we started drinking the tears of the fascists. But I say, listen, if we're going to, put him on the $3 bill, let's use, he loves the golf. And here is a photo while he was golfing while pregnant with his youngest son. And again, folks, I always tell people this, don't name your son Baron unless you want him to be the last of the line, Unless you're like, listen, no grandkids, I've had it up to here. Your name is Baron, and you will be. Other than that, don't name him Baron. You don't want to name a kid Baron, We know Don got bullied at school, that's why he's a vengeful president, a very unhappy, unhappy man. What did they say, Joe?
Enigmas never age. Have you noticed that? And Jeffrey, as a matter of fact, it was clear to me the last time I saw you.
Yeah. If you got guys writing poems to each other about how money isn't anything, and we're enigmas, we don't, the girls we hunt don't age, you might have been bullied at some point. And John Applegate, I believe that is correct. I believe that was reported on by Michael Wolff. She's Slovenian. Release the files. Thank you, Sherry. She's like Latvia, Latka pancake. I don't know. Chicken McNuggets in the chat. What a mess this country's in. Yeah, this country is in a mess. And the funniest part about old Marie Antoinette, look at how small the hands are in this picture. Look at them tiny ass little hands. The funniest part about this dude, is he thinks, and there are some people that think like this is cool, He's like, look at all the gold I decorated. Look, everything's gold. I don't know. You ever been to somebody's house where everything's gold? And we're like, hey, man, that's a pretty cool person. You ever? Maybe the people who think Joe Rogan's place is cool. I know his podcast is like got the purple drapes in the background and he's got his own name behind him. But if he decided to redecorate everything gold, would you be like, that's my guy? It's like Halloween, but for people who, worship gold. How everybody will decorate for the season. It's like this dude's decorating for the season of France 1789. Gold. Like, is the Kremlin gold? I don't know. Hey, because these people keep saying you cry a lot, I just want to show you guys something. These MAGAs, right? They pretend they're like the toughest lot out there. But you say one thing and they cannot take it. They can't take a joke. They don't understand reality. And they think gold, decorating the White House gold, while 86% of Americans are like, hey, groceries are like, 20% more expensive than last year. And he's like, hey guys, don't worry. I'm smelting all the gold and we're putting it over the fireplace here. And you will pay to heat that fireplace with your taxes. And people are like, cry harder, loser. You guys are morons. Some are saying you're dummies. They're saying they're saying,
Your brain's cooked.
yeah, you're saying your brain's cooked. And you know what I say?
You're not the boss of me.
You're not the boss of me. Get out of here. Get out of here. Yeah, as the kids say, like Hassan Parker says, you're smoking copium, man. You're smoking the copium. But what do you guys think? What I want, we got to maybe do a poll. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. Maybe we should do a poll in my community tab. And we'll post some pictures. If you got ideas of good Trump pictures for his $3 bill, maybe the one with the tampon on the ear. Remember when he squirted ketchup? He must have been eating those Big Macs really fast and ketchup got on his ear. And then for like a week, all the Republicans and him were wearing tampons on their ear. But I think I got a couple of contenders, right? I think this is a good one. We'll put this right on the back of the $3 bill. And maybe, because they're obviously not spending money on our health insurance, helping kids eat, make sure kids in America don't go hungry. They're not going to help you. The veterans, they're not going to help homeless people. They're not going to help the American citizens. They'll send $20 billion to Argentina. They'll send $20 billion of our tax money to Argentina, but they're not going to help us. So maybe they could spend a little extra for the $3 bill. And if you press on his tummy, like the Pillsbury Doughboy, remember the Pillsbury Doughboy? And if on the $3 bill, we get this picture on the back and you squeeze on his tummy, it will do this.
Now the poor guy, you got to see this guy. I don't know what I said. I don't remember.
Remember that? Or maybe we could get another picture like this, and we could have you squeeze on his man boo-boo, and he could say,
I moved on her like a bitch, but I couldn't get there.
He could say, I moved on her like a bitch. I couldn't get there. And then the people go, it will be $4.99, sir. Are you going to keep squeezing on that man's money? Or we could do this one. Maybe we do this photo, and then we have this clip play. You squeeze on his forehead.
I said, well, let's see how we say that.
How we?
I said,
help him, RFK.
Nathan.
Okay, RFK helped you through that one. Or we could do this one, and when you press on his tummy like the doughboy, he'll say,
Don't take Tylenol.
that's a good one. I don't know. What do you guys think? Or we could do this one. I think this be a good photo for the back of the $3 bill. We have this on the front, and then we have this one on the back. This is obviously from 2005. He's a much younger man. He was pregnant with his youngest son, Barron. Again, folks, do not name your son Barron. Unless you don't want grandchildren, don't name him Barron. And this one, it can say,
Smart people don't like me.
smart people don't like me. Maybe you could say that. Or, call me crazy. We could put this one on, right? And then we could have the money. You know how usually the money right now, it says like, in God we trust, E pluribus Newman, E pluribus Paul Newman. I think it says E pluribus Paul Newman in ode to the great Paul Newman. But instead, maybe, we could have it just read the whole poem that Trump wrote to him.
Enigmas never age. Have you noticed that? And Jeffrey, as a matter of fact, it was clear to me the last time I saw you.
Yeah, so I think this could be the front of the $3 bill, and it will just be the Enigmas Never Age poem, And then on the back, it could be Trump and his other best friend, Ghislaine Maxwell. And then we can have GOP, guardians of the PDF files, right at the bottom, you know? Oh no, someone's brain is broken. I gotta time them out. Somebody's brain is broken. You know, that's that's the other hilarious thing. Like these people, their brain is so broken that all they can say is this dude's name. It's hilarious. Like they'll be in the chat just retyping Donald's name. They'll be like, Donald, I love Donald. I just gotta keep saying it, keep saying it. And it's like, oh God, what a poor. I want you to think about that. I want you to think about that scenario, right? Somebody's sitting at home right now. There's probably like a hot pot, half-eaten hot pocket just fell onto the floor, and he's like, I'll pick it up in a second. 5-minute roll, ha 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 ha. You know, and you can hear Jesse Waters in the background on Fox News, you know, screaming about the green M&M's gonna make all the kids poop in litter boxes, you know. And that guy's sitting on the lives, and he's just retweeting Trump. Fartho 8, wish I had a Hot Pocket, can't lie. Well, listen, Hot Pocket is wealthy people, you know, food now, folks. You know, we're still passing around the collection jar so we can all of my subscribers, we can afford one egg. We're gonna have a big meetup and cook one egg. Cook one egg. Oh man. We already said, man, Hot Pockets are, you know, that has now moved to the echelon of non-working class people. Trump did that. You can thank him. Get the little I did that sticker with Trump, and you can put it on. You can put it over on the Hot Pocket aisle. This coin is just dumb as F. Well, the other thing is like, you know, this is obviously another distraction from the Epstein files. That's clearly what this is, because they don't put living presidents on money unless they know something we don't know. Clue us in. But they don't, you know, they don't put living presidents on the money. It's just like a thing, you know. And I'm still advocating, we got to sign a petition or something. We got to get Harriet Tubman on the 20 and Andrew Jackson off. Get him out of here. Get that bum out of here. So we got to get Tubman on the 20. But this is just a distraction. You know, this whole political article, you can read it down below if you'd like, where they were like, ooh, we're going to put Donald on your money. It's like, why? Are you trying to decrease the value quicker? He's already making the dollar worth nothing. So this whole political article, it should just say, the Treasury Department considers distracting you from the Epstein files again. Like, that's the article, folks. You know, and they even did a cute little mock-up. They had some guy go on, like, you know, Photoshop. They were like, hey, make a real cool looking coin so the president, you know, feels like nobody remembers the Epstein files. They were like, Michael Stratford, you're on this. And he was like, oh, God damn, I'm on the distraction opinion piece again. They were like, whatever you do not use this photo. He's like, hot dog. I was going to do a $3 bill with these two on the back, you know, and on the front, it was going to be his I'm jerking giraffes dance move, you know, and when you move the dollar, you know, what are those pictures called? They're not holograms, are they? You know, the photos where if you like tilt it a little bit, the Marilyn Monroe looks at you and winks or whatever. They're going to do one of those for the dollar bill. So when Donald Trump moves, you got him jerking the giraffes. Oh my God. Oh. But that's all this is, you know. Politicals in full force trying to distract everyone from the Epstein files. Because they shut down the government so they didn't have to initiate or knight, whatever they do in Congress now. Who knows? All the rules went out the window. Crime's legal. But the girl that got elected, who was going to vote to release the Epstein files, they were like, the Republicans were like, shut it down, keep it shut. We're never bringing her in and knighting her or whatever they do. You know, the old skull and roses ceremony or whatever it is. They were like, we're not doing that because she will release the files. And we promised this very sensitive man, this very sensitive 100-year-old man, that for his Smucker's birthday party, we were not going to release the files. So that's all it is. That's all this is. Swearing her in. Thank you, Beepus Peepus. Thank you, Beepus Peepus. But yeah, Donald Trump still not releasing the Epstein files. Why, folks? Why? Because he's all over them. Because he's all over them, son. That's why. Where's my... Oh, it was right next to it. Hold on. You know. Annie Farmer, Maria's sister. Look at this. They told the FBI, and this was in like 96, folks. This was in 96, I believe. I could be wrong on the date. But I mean, we're talking about, they were giving the heads up to the FBI about these pervos in the 90s. In the 90s, you know? These pervos. All of them. Hold them all accountable, man. Him, Clinton, Summers. I can't stand Larry Summers. What's his name? Alan Dershowitz. Oh, Kimball Musk, Elon Musk. Remember Elon Musk? He was just released out of those few pages of files we got that I was always wondering. I was like, how does Elon know? Remember when Elon was like, Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. Have a great day, folks. I was like, that's suspicious. How does he know? Because he ain't seen the files. Oh, he's in them too. Oh, that's how. Oh, okay. And we know that those two illegal immigrants, because where is Kimball? Kimball said on an interview, not smart. This is what he said.
They realized that we were illegal immigrants.
They were. Elon and Kimball were illegal immigrants into America. So really, folks, this when you see this Political article, have fun with it, you know. It should, again, say, you know, Treasury Department considers distracting you from the Epstein files again. They don't put living presidents on the money. They're not going to spend, well, they could spend, you know, whatever, $1 billion to create this money. But they got to, listen, they're not going to spend the money on making more money. They got to send that money to Donald Trump's friend who failed Argentina's economy. You know, they're going to spend her $20 billion in tax money. They're going to send it to Argentina. So they're not going to use that for money. This is just another distraction. So I say we figure out what photo, you know, maybe it should be an ode to RFK. And it should be a photo with like a hand with measles on it. You know, that could be on the front. And then on the back, it could be, you know, this photo. I don't know. What do you guys think? You know, I'm open. We the people should be able to design the money, right? Orange Diddy. Orange Diddy. Oh, man. Orange Diddy. He's saving Argentina instead of farmers. Yeah. Oh, Crushed Ice. Good to see you. 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 Doom, boom, doom, doom, doom. Hold on. Actually, Crushed Ice, you're gonna have to go back and watch the beginning of the video. I had the kitty on, one of the very adorable kitties on. Oh my God, William, thank you. Thank you. William says, have pictures of DJT's, and remember folks, DJT stands for Donald Jeffrey Epstein's best friend, Trump. So DJT, Donald Jeffrey Epstein's best friend, Trump, have his cankles on the coin. I gotta like make a note of that. Because William, I think you won. Unless somebody could come up with a better picture to go on the $3 bill or the coin for Donald, I say we have, maybe we do it where it's like his cankles are standing up. So each side of the coin is just a cankle, you know. It's an old muffin top ankle. There is no heads and tails. It's just fat and fatter. Oh, cuckoo. Nut Queens, 100%. I agree with your comment. We're all on the long watch, folks. We're waiting for that final Big Mac to help him shuffle loose that mortal coil, you know? Steve Austin, yes, the J equals Jeffrey's best friend. Yes, we've been saying that here on the show for a long time. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, and you could join us. Join the community, join the coalition. We're building a big family. And we're going to take America back. It's funny that these people have Take America Back stickers and t-shirts, because I'm like, who are you taking it back from, guys? The rich people, the Nepo babies, own it all. They make the rules. They spend our tax dollars where they want to, and they do whatever they want. So we really got to take it back, because they elected a dude who's already been in charge, who's been rich since birth because of his father, who's bragged about it, who keeps bragging about, read the room, Donnie. Where is it? He keeps bragging about the gold Oval Office, Maybe it should be a gold coin. What was the pirate coins called? Not booty. Don't say booty. What was the scallywags? What was their the pirate treasure called? We should make it a gold coin. That's what he should do. What are doubloons? Dwayne's World. Party time. D-Ray, AK. Thank you. KRAR. Bullion. Oh, somebody said it for When Darkness Does. Doubloons or Pieces of 8. Yes. Oh, a bunch of people were saying it. Thank you. Doubloons. I like the Pieces of 8. A piece of 8. We could do something funny with that. Piece of cake. If he loved cake. He might not love cake. Dude, we gotta, it could be like instead of gold color, they could do it like the color of a McNugget. Or they could match the gold to his face. They can, what was that gold? Were they doing like purple gold? There was a point where, I know there's white gold, but they were doing like a different colored, like an exotic limited time release. I forget what color gold. I think it was purple. What was it? Nile Red, the YouTuber? I think he did it too. But they could schmelt. I love that word. They could schmelt a gold to match his bronzer. And then we could have cankles, one of his cankles on either side of the coin. 10 karat gold is not gold. Golden Trumps. Stupid. KRAR. Yeah. I love chemistry too. I'm not good at it, but I love it. I respect the art, the science. Yeah, there's a pink, purple, gold, KRAR. Okay, that's what I thought. It was like a pink or a purple gold. God, I can't stand these people that are like, I'm a Jedi patriot, and I root for the evil empire. Fucking people are so sad. I feel so bad for them, because to be so stupid to witness like all the suffering in America and think that's like a good thing as an adult. I get it if you're like a young kid or, you're still listening to Polio Rogan and he's molding your mind in your early 20s and you like think you're going to live forever and you're just, like shallow and pedantic and, you think like doing 10 push-ups means you're a man, like that kind of brain. I think Hassan Parker calls it peasant brain. But, like if you have that kind of brain and you can see what's going on in America and like still root for it, like, okay, you got some learning to do. You got some growing, some maturing, some learning to do. But for the rest of us that are mature and have learned and can just, talk to other people. And when people are like, yeah, groceries are getting kind of out of control. The thing you need to eat to live is getting expensive. For the rest of us, it's like, come on, guys. We need you to start start to, smarten up, as they say. Peasant brain. Crushed Ice, you haven't heard that? You got to check out Hassan. Hassan Parker. Hassan's on Twitch, though. Joe Rogan is 5'3". Listen, man, I've ridden elevators with Joe Rogan. I've met him a few different times, and I know a lot of people say he's like 4'1", he's like Keebler. He's elfish size, but I think you're right. He's roughly 5'3", with his heels on, with the slips in his boots. It's so funny, the people that are like, yeah, Trump didn't do any of this. It's like, do you not know how to read, or are you just inept at comprehension? Like the tariff thing. Like the tariff thing was interesting because you could watch that in real time. And we did it here on the live stream. Some of you have been here for a while, so But we did it on live stream. I would get these emails from these small companies in America. They weren't like mom and pops, but they were small, bigger companies. Again, we need to like redistrict how we qualify small business. It should be revenue, not employee size. Because Amazon would fire everyone tomorrow if they could, and then qualify as a mom and pop. It's so, it's such an illusion. But we did it real time here when Trump was, throwing out tariffs left and right. I was showing the emails from the small, big companies when they were like, hey, we're closing down shop right now. These tariffs mean we can't afford the products. But it's just, it's a reflection of American society and how these people that are in this cult of personality will just deflect in any way possible. They'll be like, well, what about Biden? What about Kamala? What about this? What about Clinton? What about her emails? Lock her up. They'll say anything besides like looking at reality and just going, oh crap, I got duped. That's not on you if you got duped. Well, I guess if you keep getting duped, yeah, it is on you. That old George Bush, fool me once, fool me again. That Bush clip? I gotta find that clip so we can play that for you, because I think Bush said it best. Fool me once, joke's on you. Fool me twice, and April Fool's Day. Whatever he said. Bingo! I think that's what he said. Again, it's quite incredible to watch, humans, I'm assuming mostly adults, walk around in this denial. But we're seeing it with the Epstein files too. You bring up this photo, say release the files, and they're like, what about the Democrats? You're like, what about them? Lock them up too. Who gives a shit? I don't pledge allegiance to an orange turd every day. You guys get out of bed and you're like, you push the Bible to the side, you get down, you're like, oh, I pray in the name of the good Lord Donald, who loves his Ivanka so much. Guess they're sad. Oh, man. They're like the orchestra on the Titanic. Exactly. They're going to keep playing that violin. Oh, we're victims. Us white, straight men in our 50s. We are victims. Meanwhile, the other 80-year-old straight white men love to hear you 50-year-olds, crying for them. They love to hear it because they're like, we are literally robbing people in front of their faces. The president did a meme coin, folks. I just want everybody to think about that. CoffeeZilla did a video. He is trusted by everyone, even the grifters, the scam artists, who he does videos on. They'll be like, man, I loved CoffeeZilla until he, pointed out my scam. So he transcends anything. People love him. And even CoffeeZilla had to make a video where he's like, well, crime is now legal, I guess. What else do you say? You saw the dude just, as Elephant Graveyard once put it, the suey eyes, like he's like, well, that just shot my channel in the foot. He's like, I used to do videos on scam artists, and now the president's like, hey guys, I'm gonna pull a sick rug pull. We're gonna do a meme coin, and then you guys have that. It's like, holy crap. Oh my God. Oh, the MAGA snowflakes are here. They are a telephonator. I would pull up the background that says fascist tears with the mug. Oh, I gotta make that a t-shirt. Because we drink their fascist tears. And remember, guys, we didn't call ourselves Antifa. The president, once he announced that anti-fascists were the enemy of his regime, that's him saying, we are fascists, and if you are anti-fascist, you are against us. So, and if you don't know your history, some of you maybe didn't have grandfathers who served like mine did. But most of our grandfathers, or maybe your great-grandfather, or maybe your brother, I don't know how old you are, they served in World War II and fought against fascists. The Mussolinis, the Polio Rogan doppelgangers, and the Hitlers, they fought against them. We used to all be Antifa here in America. But I'm telling you, when I saw that slow degrade into these proud boys, when the Proud Boys started getting prouder and going out and marching in the streets, I kept thinking to myself, like, we are fucked, because that shouldn't be allowed, The Confederate flag stuff was like pushing the envelope, and then they started marching with them. And it was just like, did none of these people have grandparents? Did none of your grandparents serve in World War II? And if they did, I hope your grandfather gets his belt out and, makes you pick a switch, as they say. My stepdad, U.S. Air Force. Thank you. Thank you. Thank your granddad. My grandfather passed away a long time, but, constant law, preach. Thank you. Well, but so my whole point with that is now we're seeing these people, because somebody in the live said yesterday, oh, the guy used the word fascist, I'm out of here. And he didn't. I had to mute him for 24 hours. But it's like, we're not voluntarily doing that. His regime, Jeffrey Epstein's best friend, has a regime that's running the government right now. And he said, if you're anti-fascist, you're against us. If you're anti-ice cream, does that mean you love ice cream? No. These people, I don't know if they don't get what words mean or they don't understand, but when the government announced that anti-fascists are the enemy, that means they're the fascists. That's what it means, guys. It's just like when people were like, Charlie Kirk was a racist, you took him out of context. I've had to explain this 100 million times. I'm like, listen, dummy. He made racism so simple. He made textbook Merriam-Webster's dictionary racist his face. Because he was like, if I see a black person as a pilot, I think they're unqualified. I'm like, oh, that's it. That's racism right there. That's black and white. That's literal racism. There's no other way to describe it. That's what being racist is. Just like if you say, if you're anti-fascist, you're my enemy. Well, that's fascism, folks. And there's people in the fucking chat that are like, I don't really get it. There's people in the chat that are like, God dang it.
Yeah, we're all trying to find the guy who did this and give him a spanking.
There are people in the chat who are still trying to find the guy who did this and give him a spanking. But I'm telling you, man, Jason, I'm 4 generations of combat veterans. My father and I both support our current commander-in-chief. Wow, that is fucking silly. And there's a lot of people that will go along with it. Hey, there's always the rogue fascist that's like, hey, I'm all for this racist stuff. I'm all for this, white savior mentality. There's people that you see them live and direct, and they're proud, This Jeffrey Epstein's PDF file friend emboldened them to come out and be like, hey, man, it's cool now to be fascist. Back in World War II, we had to fight them. And You know, Jason's like, we always hated being on this side. So that's great. I don't know if you should be proud of that, but okay. Oh, man. But again, I think this was a slow descent. As soon as we legally allowed people to fly Confederate flags, which remember, folks, you know what a Confederate flag is? That's a foreign enemy of the United States. A foreign enemy. And as soon as we allowed people to fly the Confederate flag, I knew shit was downhill. You know, my family member, John Brown, would be, you know, disappointed in what happened after the Civil War, let me tell you. And I am too. You know, we should have made that Confederate flag illegal. Illegal. Miami, you don't really add much to the conversation. I feel like your brain's broken too. These people that just keep repeating themselves, you know. Think new thoughts, guys. Well, it's still kind of the... Well, you can still think the thoughts. Remember when Polio Rogan was doing the fear-mongering about the UK and the thought police? Well, now this guy is doing the thought police, you know. MAGA said, I'm anti-fascist. They're like, we're just anti-fascists? It's crazy. Vic, thank you. He's like, listen, the I don't know if I can see, YouTube's so weird, but the Nazi symbol is not offensive, but the Mexican flag is, you know. I would even, like, I agree with you on that, but for me, it was like, even before that, I was like, there are bitches down south flying a Confederate flag, which was a foreign enemy of the U.S., a foreign enemy. And we just, like, allow that shit? God damn, man. But again, this is exactly why they were like, do not teach history. Do not let them read those books. Do not give them good education. Like, this is, if you ever heard George Carlin, like, this is what he was talking about. He was like, keep these people dumb, but not too dumb so they can't work at the factories that we're going to bring back to them, the sweatshops that we're bringing back here. Oh, it is hilarious. Trump is going to go on the $3 bill. And I think this is the photo they're going to use, or they might use this one. I was saying, you know, we have the technology, so why don't we put this one on? And when we put this one on, we can have it play some audio.
Now the poor guy, you got to see this guy. I don't know what I said. I don't remember.
Or we could put, you know, we could do this. He loves golfing, so the $3 bill can be Donald golfing while pregnant with his youngest son, Barron. Please do not name your children Barron. You know, I understand he probably doesn't want grandkids or great-grandkids. I don't know. Is he an uncle, grandpa? Who knows? But just don't name him Barron, you know. You know, think of the children, man. Think of the children. Don't name him Barron.
I gotta use some Tic Tacs just in case I start kissing her.
Oh, you know what? I just thought of that. That's a good. Did you hear Donald Trump saying I got to use some Tic Tacs in case I start kissing her? Tic Tacs. How have you not considered getting the president to sell Tic Tacs on the front lawn? He's like the official move on the Tic Tacs. The official. What would we call mint? I guess they're a mint, right? Tic Tacs are like a mint candy. Tic Tacs, the official mint candy of moving on her like a bitch, but not getting there.
I moved on her like a bitch, but I couldn't get there.
But he couldn't get there. And he could stand on the White House lawn with the thing of Tic Tacs. Being like, you know what I use when I move on girls like a bitch, but I couldn't get there? Tic Tacs. Bing! Ryan, quote, I don't want to see fat people in the Pentagon. Ooh, I got bad news for you, buddy. I got bad news for you. Bad news for you, your commander. You know? Bad news. The MAGA meat riders are here. The MAGA meat riders, they all want their daughter to sit on their lap like that. Like that. Savuna says Tic Tacs is wild. Yeah, man. Imagine. I think that's a good ad. I think we could do an AI commercial with this creep standing on the White House lawn behind with a bunch of Teslas behind him, and he's holding two big things of Tic Tacs, and he goes, "Tic Tacs, the official creep mint. If you want to move on her like a bitch and not get there."
I gotta use some Tic Tacs just in case I start kissing her. I moved on her like a bitch, but I couldn't get there.
But he couldn't get there. I don't know why you would brag about that. That's a weird brag. You ever heard one of your friends come up to you and be like, "Oh, dude, I made the move. I moved on her like a bitch, but I could not get there." Everybody's like, "Oh, cool story. Cool story, bro." I want to know why why the two most unhealthy looking men in the White House are making the medical decisions. Thank you. Yeah, the one who's like, I thought
Here's what I would say.
I would say don't take any vaccines, South Carolina. Don't do it. And then you look at the news in South Carolina and you're like, oh yeah, that's working out. It's working out well. You know, a thing we defeated. It's working out great. Oh, Jesus. That's what I got a live feed from South Carolina right now. Ooh.
Here's what I would say.
How about you say nothing? Save your voice. Oh, that's what they could do. RFK, that's what we could do. We can have, okay, here's the full commercial. We're making a commercial for Tic Tacs. It's Jeffrey Epstein's best friend on the White House lawn. Hundreds of Teslas behind him. He's got 2 extra large bottles of Tic Tacs. And he's like, Tic Tacs, the official moving on her like a bitch and not getting there.
I moved on her like a bitch, but I couldn't get there.
And then RFK walks over and goes,
here's what I would say.
And Donald goes, save your voice. Have some Tic Tacs. I think that all works. I don't know. We need notes. Clearly. Perfect. Oh, no notes. Sorry, Safuna says no notes. And then it just cuts away. And we gotta, I wish my piano was plugged in, because we gotta write a little jingle. Tic Tacs. I'm gonna have to write a jingle. Yes, we're getting there. All right, Steve. Steve, I respect you because you're like, we're getting there. We are getting there. Listen, we got to work RFK in somewhere, you know. And then maybe we'll have hologram. What's his name? Jeffrey Epstein. Hold on, my cat. Come here, ghost. We gotta have hologram Jeffrey Epstein show up and be like, you know why I always keep him stacked on the island, bitches. Hold on. Come here. Oh my God. Never mind. Listen, never mind. Oh, really? You're gonna. Oh, God, jeez. I love it. Daniel says, there's always one person, sometimes two. They always go, of course he's got a cat. I got a dog too. Animals fucking love me, bro. But usually when people go, of course he's got a cat, I always think like they must be terrified of cats. You know, terrified of the scene, you know, if you know what I mean. We created the word incel for certain people. But it's always fascinating because I love animals, man. I love animals. And if you're scared, like Daniel, if you're scared of cats, I get it. Just say that, you know. But isn't that the whole reason God gave us dogs and cats? Like, it'd be a waste, you know. It'd be such a waste to spend your life without animals. My God. Yeah, she's being a misfit. Come here, you little misfit. Her and this other little one, they're being little troublemakers right now. Her and her little sister. Hold on. Oh no, Sean's brain is broken. I gotta put him in timeout. I hate when you see how it's a cult, right? They can only type the word Donald. It's like their brain literally broke. She doesn't have a name, but I call her Scaredy. Because she's the only one that's like jumps at stuff, you know. Door opens and she's like, "What?" Yeah, I love animals. It's weird when people are like, "Oh, you have a cat. Oh, you have a dog. What a weird guy. He has cats and dogs. See, they live together. That's woke." I'm like, listen, I get it. You're scared of the pussy cat, you know? You're definitely scared of these. We know you are. Hi. He's so beautiful. He's such an amazing little species of hyena. I love the hyenas. Go get it, hyena. It is so fluffy. But Root, good to see you, by the way. The fluff, like, calms down. It's the breed of cat. It's a weird breed. My black cat is petrified. Really? I wonder if that's a black cat thing. Because all her brothers and sisters are like, they'll come running out of the woodwork to when you come down. And when she hears that door open, oh my God, she jumps. It's funny. Animals are amazing. And it's just one of those things, you know? Like, I kind of don't trust people who aren't cool around animals, you know what I mean? But the animals can sense it. The animals know. And I believe that dude's never had a pet. Who's saying liberal? Guys, please don't call me a liberal. That is offensive. I'm a extreme far leftist. Liberals, if you scratch them, they're fascists. That's what you see right now. A bunch of progressive liberals being fascists. I believe in this stuff. Overturning Citizens United, giving the women the right to choose forever. That's a right. Get rid of the Electoral College. Ranked choice voting. Universal health care paid for by billionaires' taxes. Ban stock trading in Congress. Cap the Congress salary at 1.5 the median income district income. Cap CEO pay. Minimum wage? How about a maximum wage, bitches? Tax billionaires out of existence. Once you hit $999,999,999.99, guess what? If you can't afford 100% tax, so you never become a billionaire, you're living outside of your means. Maybe you shouldn't be even eating avocado-colored iPhones every morning or whatever you're doing, you know? If you can't afford a tax and you're living on $1 billion, hundreds of billions of dollars, you're living outside of your means. What else? A bunch of other stuff. Minimum wage should be $66 an hour, you know? It's radical stuff, folks. But just don't call me liberal. My Christ. Oh. Someone said religion doesn't belong in politics. Well, we got the Al-Qaeda working hard to just be like Sharia law, but for, you know, Baptists or whatever they are, evangelicals, you know. They want to make Joel Osteen minister of ministry. The minister of ministry. That's a good one. Thank you. Oh, man. These people that have never read Jesus's words, they're funny. You don't have the fartest idea. How about that? Healthcare for women, actually, but keep telling us you don't know or respect women because that's all you're saying. Well, of course they don't know or respect women, you know? Women have cooties to them. Make it illegal to be paid in stock options. I love that, Roderick. That we gotta add to this list. I stole this meme from someone, and we gotta, you know, we got to redo this. But I 100%. No more compensation packages. You know, no more golden parachutes. Dwayne's World. They are all on Grindr. They crashed the Grindr in Utah. You know, when they were at the Klan Memorial. What was it called? The Chuck Klan Memorial? Whatever it was. They had pyrotechnics. Was it Monster Truck Rally? I don't even know what they were doing there. I have no idea. Trump Bibles, yeah. All these people that are like, keep my I love my Bill of Rights. Put it in a Bible for me. It's like Duck Dynasty. I don't even know Duck Dynasty, but I would just assume it has that vibe. It's very Duck Dynasty. Vance is a manly man and he knows it. Hold on. Are you talking about Just Dance Vance? He is the manliest. He is so manly. Oh my God. It's so funny. And that's your vice president right there. Interesting. Trump Bibles with half the Constitution missing. Yeah. Oh, this is funny. Crushed ice. Okay. It's getting late, guys. No, I think, John, just so you know, I think Biden should have opened up an auto pen store and sold, when you got to the White House, they should have a gift shop that was Joe Biden's auto pen. And you just buy an auto pen so it can sign stuff for you. Thank God he's not running again. We need Graham Plattner. Graham Plattner, who's, you know, saying tax billionaires out of existence into extinction. The guy who said this.
And the enemy is the oligarchy.
We need Graham Plattner to run. And we need to redo. The great thing about Donald destroying everything right now, there's no rule of law. Meme coins run wild. The PDF files are being protected by the government. The good thing about the destruction of, you know, everything that America was and wasn't, is that we can rebuild. And that's what we're doing here. That's why I say hit subscribe. Because we're plotting it out. Nobody's going to have medical debt. Nobody's going to, you know, go into debt because they took an ambulance. Nobody's going to go into debt because they wanted to get educated. They're going to be able to work one job and buy a home. Like, some of this stuff is like what used to be in America, and some of it's going to be new, and we're going to rebuild because we the people are. So save your breath for telling me, why don't you leave the country? Listen, I'd love to, but we got work to do, folks. We got a lot of work to do. You know, there's a bunch of dum-dums running around the White House that were best friends with this guy, you know, and telling you, hey, you don't go see a doctor. You don't take Tylenol, but I will. You know. He'd say, yeah, I don't care what you do, but me and my family, we're going to be. It's so funny. So we're going to make this country for the working people, you know. No more price of egg voting, you know. Some of this stuff is just so obscene. We are going to make it spicy boy. Hashtag protect your neck. I love Wu-Tang. And that is true. Spicy boy, I heard somebody said he lost that debate by a long shot. So, I don't know what that means, but. All right, guys.
Gentlemen, this is Democracy Manifest.
Oh, island boys. we're gonna have ICE send them to an island. That will be ICE's last mission. Rounding up Kimball and Elon Musk and the island boys and sending them, and all the meme coiners. I hate people stealing from their own audience. It really bugs me, man. You know. And, you know, the president doing it to his own citizens. It's kind of... All right, guys. So, some of you hit subscribe and come back tomorrow. You hit the notification bell after. You'll get notified. I go live every weekday. I love doing this. I love building. Oh, hold on. Look at this cutie who just got up. I just call her Princess. She's an absolute... Oh, wait. Is she going to the bathroom? You going to use the bathroom? What are you doing? Oh my God, she's so tired. Hold on. Crushed Ice, you still here? Hold on. Hey, little baby. Hi. What are you doing? Did you just wake up? Did you just get up? Hey, little princess. Hold on. She is so cute. She is the cutest one. She's the bravest one, this little girl. She just absolutely loves humans so much. And I've never seen a cat like this. This cat is so trippy looking. Right? Hey. Mom, I got her. I got her. Yeah, is your mom calling you? Yeah? Say goodnight. Or good morning. Whatever. She is so cute. Oh, they're all trying to jump on the computer. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Say goodnight. She keeps looking at me. Stop looking at me. Look at them. Show them your face. It's so pretty. You're a little princess. Princess cat. I don't know what to call you. You're a little princess cat. There you go. There you go. All right, guys. Have a... How much? Listen, I got family down in Jersey. Maybe, well, I got to get a car first. But I'll bring you one. I'll bring you one. I get a reserved... Well, that one's already... I think she's got a home. But... my little nieces want one, so I get a... Princess is the name, bud. That's why I keep calling her. That's why I keep calling her. And, you know, I think it's just a good name. Oh, my God. It's... What time is it? Yeah, it's crack that time where the cats have gone absolutely bananas. All right, guys. Have a great night. Hit subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Much love. Be